More to Marketing.
Welcome to More to Marketing, the podcast on marketing, product, and everything business. I'm your host, Susan, and today we're going to be going deep into the topic of what is connection. It is at the heart of every relationship, campaign, and community. Connection. But what does it truly mean? Why does it matter? And how can we foster more of it in our lives? So, what does connection really mean? So, in psychology, connectedness is the subjective feeling of being close to others or to a larger community. It's about experiencing a sense of belonging, understanding, and sharing identity. But it's not just about the number of relationships you have, it's about the quality and the depth of those bonds. One of the beautiful ways to really describe this so you can really understand what connection is the energy that exists between two people when they have felt, seen, heard, and valued, when they give and receive without judgment, and when they derive sustenance and strength from the relationship. Connection is a blend of belonging, love, intimacy, and support. It's authenticity, honesty, and security all rolled into one. But connection isn't just interpersonal. There are actually three main types. Intra-personal connection, so that's intrapersonal connection, the relationship you have with yourself, knowing, accepting, and understanding your thoughts and feelings. Interpersonal connection, so that's interpersonal connection, the bonds you form with others, so they're your family, friends, colleagues, and maybe even some strangers. Transpersonal connection, feelings that are linked to something bigger, whether it's nature, a cause, or a higher power. But why does connection matter in everyday life and even down to business and marketing and product? Why do we care about connection so much? Connection isn't just a nice to have. It's fundamental to all of our well-being. Research shows that strong connections boost mental health, self-esteem, and life satisfaction. When we feel connected, we're more resilient, happier, and more likely to live purpose-driven lives. Deep connections are things like they give us a sense of serenity and safety. Deep connections can encourage trust and vulnerability. They help us build meaningful, lasting relationships, and deep connections also fuel our sense of purpose and fulfillment. And that's why it's so important to understand how brands can create a connectedness or a product or a service in its use for its connectedness, because that helps build that relationship. But how can we foster connecting? So, how we actually get connection, essentially it's a word that sometimes feels more disconnected than ever. And here's some evidence-based strategies. So one of them is practice active listening. So as yourself, practice this, but also as a brand, it's a good exercise too. True connection starts with listening, really listening. That means putting away distractions, making eye contact, and actually tuning in not just to the words, but the feelings behind them. Reflect back on what you hear to show you understand, and this makes people feel more valued and seen. Open up and be vulnerable. Connection deepens when we're willing to show our true selves. That's strengths, struggles, hopes, and fears. Vulnerability invites others to do the same and build trust and intimacy. 3, communicate honestly and often. Create a safe space to be open, judgment-free of all kinds of communications. Share your feelings and encourage others to do the same, and check in regularly, not just when things go wrong or when they really go right. 4, show empathy. Empathy is the ability to feel and understand someone else's emotions. When you celebrate someone's joy or support them in pain, you're building a bridge of that connection. And that's where brands can really get behind, when they're doing things that make sense and actually can build a relationship. 5, spend quality time together. Whether it's a walk, a deep connection, or a shared project, Being present with someone without distractions strengthens your bond. This shared experience and even challenges brings people closer. And this is where customer care teams can really add a huge amount of value because they are listening, they're walking the path with the customer. Make sure they have power. 6, express appreciation and gratitude. Notice and acknowledge the good in the relationship. A simple thank you or compliment can go a long way in building that deeper emotional tie. 7, create rituals and shared goals. Rituals like a weekly check-in or a shared hobby create predictability and shared meaning. Also, working towards a common goal, even something small, can foster teamwork and closeness. 8, personalize your approach. Everyone connects differently. Learn what makes the people in your life feel valued and loved, whether it's words of affirmation, acts of service, or quality time, and meet them there. Connection is beyond people. Connection isn't limited to human relationships. You can cultivate a sense of connectedness with nature, community, or a cause you care about. Practices like mindfulness, volunteering, or simply spending time outdoors can foster this broader sense of belonging and purpose. Now, sometimes it can be hard to connect, but why? Now, despite our best intentions, connection can be challenging, especially in a fast-paced digital world that we all live in. We've all got things to do, right? Social media can give an illusion of a connectedness too without being very deep. Busyness, fear of vulnerability, and cultural differences are all types of barriers. But connection is a skill, something we work on all the time. It can be learned, practiced, and deepened over time. And that's when you have the intent and care. Brands need to think about how they can do this, products and services, how to involve it. Connection is the heartbeat of a fulfilling life. It's what gives our days meaning, our challenges purpose, and our joys a land to play. While you're looking to deepen relationships with yourself, your loved ones, the community, remember, connection starts with presence, empathy, and willing to be seen. If you take one thing from this episode, make space for connection. Listen deeply, share openly, and nurture the bonds that matter most. Thank you for listening to this podcast from More to Marketing. Stay tuned for more podcasts in the future. More to Marketing.